Most people hear unlimited paid time off and immediately think it sounds like the ultimate workplace perk. After all, who wouldn't want the freedom to take as many vacation days as they want without worrying about limits? It sounds progressive, flexible, and employee-focused, almost like companies are finally prioritizing well-being over productivity. But what if this policy, which looks generous on the surface, is actually one of the smartest cost-cutting strategies corporations have ever introduced? Because once you look past the marketing language and start examining how unlimited PTO actually works in practice, you begin to realize something surprising. Many employees who are given unlimited vacation end up taking less time off, not more. And that outcome is not accidental. It is built directly into how the system is designed. Understand why, you have to compare unlimited PTO with traditional vacation policies. Under a standard system, employees are given a fixed number of vacation days each year. Those days are clearly defined, tracked, and often paid out if unused when someone leaves the company. That means unused vacation time is technically a financial liability on the company's books. If employees don't take their days, the company still owes them that value. Unlimited PTO eliminates that liability completely. When there is no fixed number of days, there is nothing to accrue, nothing to track, and nothing to pay out later. From an accounting standpoint alone, companies can save millions by switching to this structure. And that's before even considering the behavioral effects it creates. Because here's the psychological twist. When employees are given a set number of vacation days, they tend to use them because they feel entitled to them. The number creates a clear boundary. It signals permission. But when time off becomes unlimited, that boundary disappears. Suddenly, there is no reference point for what is normal or acceptable. Employees start asking themselves questions they never had to ask before. How much is too much? Will my manager think I'm slacking? What if my coworkers take less time than I do? Instead of feeling free, many workers feel uncertain. And uncertainty, especially in a professional environment, usually leads people to be more cautious, not more relaxed. So they take fewer days off just to be safe. There's also a subtle social pressure effect that kicks in. In workplaces with unlimited PTO, time off becomes invisible competition. Employees watch each other's behavior and quietly calibrate their own choices to match what seems acceptable. If most people only take a week or two off each year, no one wants to be the outlier who takes more, even if technically they're allowed to. Over time, the culture itself starts enforcing limits, even though the policy claims there are none. The company never has to say no, the environment does it for them. And then there's the approval dynamic. Unlimited PTO doesn't actually mean you can disappear whenever you want. Most companies still require manager approval for time off, which means every request becomes a judgment call. When vacation days are fixed, approval is usually procedural. But when days are unlimited, approval becomes discretionary. Managers may start informally tracking who takes time off and how often, even if it isn't written policy. Employees know this, so they self-regulate. They take fewer days, shorten trips, or stay connected to work while they're technically on vacation. The result is that the company looks generous on paper while maintaining nearly the same productivity levels in reality. Another hidden advantage for employers is hiring appeal. Unlimited PTO sounds impressive in job listings. It signals flexibility, modern culture, and trust. For candidates comparing offers, it can feel like a major perk, even if they never actually use it. In other words, it helps companies attract talent without necessarily increasing costs. It's a benefit that markets extremely well, but often costs very little to provide. From a business perspective, that's incredibly efficient. There's also a retention angle that people don't always consider. Traditional PTO policies create a built-in incentive for employees to stay until they've used or cashed out their accumulated days. Unlimited PTO removes that incentive. If someone leaves the company, there is no unused vacation payout waiting for them. That makes turnover cheaper for employers because they don't owe departing workers that extra compensation. It's a subtle financial shift, but across hundreds or thousands of employees, it adds up quickly. What makes this system especially interesting is that it doesn't rely on rules or enforcement to work. It relies on psychology. It takes advantage of people's natural desire to appear responsible, committed, and cooperative. Most employees don't want to look like they're abusing a benefit, so they don't. The company doesn't need strict limits because employees create limits for themselves. That's what makes unlimited PTO such a clever design. It transforms what looks like a freedom into something that often functions like a constraint. None of this means unlimited PTO is always bad. In some companies with strong cultures of trust and leadership that actively encourages rest, employees really do take more time off and feel more balanced. But those environments usually have something in common. Managers model the behavior themselves. They openly take vacations, disconnect fully, and reassure employees that time off is not only allowed, but expected. Without that cultural reinforcement, unlimited PTO tends to drift toward underuse. The bigger lesson here isn't just about vacation policies. It's about how modern workplace perks are designed. Many benefits today are structured to look generous while subtly shifting responsibility onto employees. Flexible schedules, remote work options, and wellness programs can all be positive, but they can also blur boundaries between work and personal life if expectations aren't clearly defined. The pattern is the same. When rules become less explicit, pressure often becomes more internal. So the next time you see a job listing advertising unlimited vacation days, it's worth pausing before assuming it's automatically better. The real question isn't whether time off is unlimited. The real question is how much time people actually take. Because in the end, a benefit is only as valuable as your ability to use it. And sometimes, the perks that sound the most generous are the ones that save companies the most money.